Imagine this. You have a date scheduled with your boyfriend or girlfriend, but you overslept. You wake up and you're panicking. You're already an hour late. You don't want them to think that you stood them up, so you don't even bother changing your clothes or fixing your hair. So you hurry up to the car and you leave. As you're driving, you decide to send them a text to let them know that you didn't forget and you're on your way. Little did you know, you're on your way to the hospital with a pit stop at the county jail. It turns out that in those 2 short seconds you were looking down at your cell phone, you didn't see that stop sign, let alone the minivan with 3 small children. All they can see is the inside of the casket while you're looking at 25 to life. I know for most of you, this is pretty hard to imagine, but unfortunately it's a scenario that happens quite frequently. And it could happen to anyone, including you. In my speech today, I'd like to talk about the dangers and consequences of texting and driving, the scary statistics, and how to prevent yourself from ruining your life as well as others around you by not texting and driving. In today's lifestyle, text messaging is the main form of communication. In fact, in the past few years, the number of cell phones and users have increased dramatically. Most people who own a cell phone would say that text messaging is fast and easy. We have an impulse to respond to that buzz of our phones and don't even hesitate to tune out our surroundings. Well, along with this sudden burst comes the effective use of cell phones in cars. People who text and drive run the risk of many dangers harming them. Texting while driving can distract even the most skilled driver, let alone a teenager who has very little experience and is new to the road. So, is texting while driving more dangerous than drinking and driving? The dangers of texting and driving are very evident, and that can cause harm to yourself or others. The punishment for texting and driving offenses varies by the jurisdiction. According to the Fine Law webpage, punishment includes fines, which grow with repeat offenses, along with points against driver's license in states that use the point system. And under some laws, serious repeat offenders may even face jail time. The damage can scar you and others' lives forever. The damage could not disappear with jail time or community service, and the damage will always be there. About 75% of young adults actually admit to driving and texting, and say they are somewhat confident with text messaging while driving, while about 55% claim that it's easy to text and drive. But it is a problem. Teens who text while drive spend about 10% of their driving time outside of their own lane. But hey, adults do it too. 48% of kids have been in the car while the driver was texting and driving. 15% of kids say they have seen their parents texting while driving. And about 27% of adults have admitted to sending text messages while driving with their children in the car. According to the Texting and Driving Safety website, in 2011, about 23% of auto collisions involved cell phones. That's 1.3 million crashes. Also, about 5 seconds is the minimal amount of time that your attention is taken away from the road when you're texting and driving. That means that if you're driving at about 55 miles an hour, you're driving the length of a football field without looking at the road. Not to mention, in 1 of every 5 drivers of all ages admit to surfing on the web while they're driving. This statistical data makes it obvious that this problem has reached the limit. In 2011, the number of fatal accidents, including people losing their lives due to texting and driving, was about 3,267, while in 2012 alone, it increased to about 3,331 fatal crashes. So what can be done about this? There have been several laws throughout the country put into place or taken to federal courts. 10 states, including D.C., prohibit drivers from using cell phones while driving, while 39 states prohibit all drivers from text messaging. On the AT&T website, you can take the pledge to not text and drive and get involved by joining the movement to prevent texting and driving. There are also several apps that you can get on your cell phone, such as AT&T Drive Mode, which is an anti-texting and driving app for BlackBerry and Android. Drive Safely, which actually reads your messages and your notifications for you, which eliminates the urge for you to grab your phone while you're driving. Techstar and many others do. DriveCam is available for parents and also getting connected on social media. So now that people are understanding this and seeing it on the news, that this is unsafe, why do they still attempt to send a quick text here and there? In 1 second, entire lives can be wiped out or changed forever. In conclusion, every day there are more and more accidents that are caused by distracted drivers. As a result of these risks posed by cell phone use while driving, the only way to ensure our safety is for us to speak up and put a stop to it. There is a whole lot of risk that can be cut if only we make the effort to stop. Share this information with your kids, your parents, your friends, whoever. Take the pledge to help eliminate the unnecessary lives lost at the cost of texting while driving. Thank you.
Shocking.